Good evening, and welcome to Wednesday Matters because, because Wednesday matters. Every day actually matters, every moment of our lives actually matters. Um, but Wednesdays are kind of special. You know, they call it Hump Day, and that's all about it's the day in the week when everything seems to pile up and make you kind of wish that it was Friday. So, since it's not Friday, since it's Wednesday, let's talk about what matters in your life. Let's talk about what's important to you, um, what's going on in your life, what you would like prayer for, um, well, just whatever's on your mind. That's what we're here for, is to talk through those things and try to create the space in which our lives have room to get bigger and better. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Um, I got a couple of things to share with you today. I got affirmation cards from Unity today, and they're beautiful. They're just beautiful. I think if you go to unity.com, you can find them. But look at these pictures, and each one has a picture on the front talking about what the theme for it is. This one is trusting guidance. This one is loving compassion. This one is healing. This one is letting go, divine wisdom. I love this one. Letting go opens the way for spiritual ideas. My internal and eternal divine wisdom effortlessly guides my path. I just love these. I think they're beautiful, and they're beautifully made, and they're sturdy, and they're a nice size. You could pick one and carry it around with you during the day and let it help you remember what it is you want to remember. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Simple, thoughtful, clear affirmations about whatever area is being impacted in your life at any given moment. So, like I said, highly recommended. And what else can I recommend? I'm in a recommending kind of mood. Well, there was a book I wanted to recommend, but I don't have it here. So it's going to have to wait. I thought it was here, but it's not, and I can't give you all the information if I don't have it. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. And perhaps on Sunday, I'll find the book and then I can actually talk about it and tell you. Until then, let it be a surprise. Let it be a surprise. Who knows what she's going to get into next? Um, I want to thank some people. I'd like to thank the tech department, which right now is out doing things, but she'll be back. And I mean, she's the one who usually just makes things work. She just finished an interview. She has a show on the air the first Wednesday of every month. And so on the first Wednesday, we do back to back. And she finishes up at like moments before 7, and then I jump in. And in the meantime, I try to be quiet while she's on, which is not always easy for me. I tend to make more noise than I should, probably. Um, so she's taking a little bit of a break, but she'll be back. And I'd like to thank those of you who have been making donations. I just want you to know how much it's appreciated. I don't have the new and hopefully not thinking for itself computer up just yet, but your donations have helped me get over the one that I'm using right now that makes strange decisions on its own and sometimes throws things out, which is not good. So I have purchased a new one, but I'm going to have it professionally set up and not try to do that on my own. because we've had bad experience with setting up computers. CAC's last old computer um, went to, can I say this? Yeah, I can. It went to the Geek Squad, and they were supposed to install the stuff from the old computer to the new computer, and it didn't all transfer, which would be no big deal, except that when they went back into the old computer, it was speaking Chinese, literally. Now, I went in and got it to stop speaking Chinese, but they never did find the stuff that was missing. So we've, in the meantime, kind of adopted a new personal geek who's terrific at this kind of thing. And I'm going to have him come in and set this all up so that we don't lose anything or anybody important. So there's that. So thank you for those of you making donations and who continue to do that. It is much, much appreciated. Thank you to those of you who have invited friends. And I want to talk to you about that in just a minute. You know, the family can't get too big. It really can't. And we want to get our message out. We want to get this message out to as many people as we possibly can. So I appreciate you inviting friends. And thank you for that. We have a few regular people who started out just because they were invited, and that's wonderful. That's how I got to church in the first place, was somebody invited me. So I encourage you to do that. And with that thought in mind, I was having a conversation with one of our regulars who suggested that she has, in fact, invited several people, but they kind of come in and stay and listen a little bit, but don't necessarily come back. And her thought, and it had been mine earlier, was that perhaps we have become such a close-knit group, and I know we are, and I love that people feel like outsiders when they come in. When we're talking about our pets and our problems and various things. So, I'm not sure if it was her suggestion or mine, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. And the thought was that perhaps we could keep Wednesday that way and let Sunday become just a little bit more, I don't want to say formal, less chatty and more welcoming to people who have not been part of the group. So when you get a chance, give me your feedback on that, would you please? Let me know what you think of that idea, and maybe we'll make some changes. We can do that. We can do that. But I want your feedback on it before I make any drastic changes. Okay, so what else? Jennifer and Kirk may not be with us, may yet be with us, but may not be with us this evening. Today was Jennifer's mother's memorial service, or funeral service, I guess, both. And she's had a day very full of remembering. And besides a 10 a.m. Regular service at the funeral home, there was a 1:30 graveside service in Riverside. So she may still be fighting traffic, for all I know. But if you get a chance, if they do show up, just kind of shower them with love and send them virtual kisses and hugs and let them know you love them. It's been a big day. It's been a very big day. And for me, it was, well, I didn't go to Riverside, but I did go to Lancaster. And I've got to tell you, it was a joy to see the two girls, both of whom I baptized. And it was just very cool, reconnecting. They're grown people now. Sabrina has an adorable child of her own, and it was just good to be with them. Good to make that connection. I loved it. So, here we are. Why don't I just kind of jump in and talk about what I have been intending to talk about and see where that gets us? So, be patient with me, if you will, for just a moment. And here I go. So, it's my granddaughter's birthday today. Happy birthday, sweetheart. It is also, of course, Cinco de Mayo. And here's my question for you. If I say Cinco de Mayo, what comes to mind? Mexican independence? Fiesta? Cuervo Gold? Dos Equis? Guacamole? Look, this is not a psychology test. There are no wrong answers. I'm just kind of curious about how your mind works. And actually, if you're paying attention, and I hope you are, what this is, well, it's more an insight into how I create my talks. It's all about association. One thought leads to another, and then suddenly, bingo, there's what I'm going to talk about. One thought leads to another, and a theme emerges. Or one quote stands out and gets my mind going in a certain direction, and I'm off. If it doesn't work with words, I go out and look at things. At the strip mall, I look around and there's, quite honestly, not a lot there, but it's close. On the streets in general, sometimes I see something. In the grocery store, well, now I'm back to tacos and guacamole and Corona, aren't I? So that's no help. But that is where I was yesterday, and then it hit me in a blinding flash of the obvious. So simple I nearly laughed out loud right there in the produce department between me and the avocados and the mountain of six packs of Corona. Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May, preceded by the 4th of May, which was preceded by the 3rd of May, and then there was the 2nd of May, and May 1st. The solution, the inspiration, was simple. Forget the 5th of May. Well, not entirely, of course, since it's my granddaughter's birthday. But don't worry about talking about the 5th of May. Begin at the beginning. Begin with the beginning. So, having said that, well, it's Cinco de Mayo, and I certainly wish you a happy one, but I'm moving on. Or rather, moving back to the beginning. And in the beginning, once upon a time, before time, what there was creation. Call it spirit or God. It certainly didn't have a name back then because we weren't around to insist that it did. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, wrote in the book The Science of Mind, in the theoretical beginning of creation, the world was without form and void. So there was no set form. Not in the beginning. Not now, not ever. There was in the beginning, and is, only one. One spirit, which was the beginning, and still quoting Holmes. So there is no difference in the ultimate and the minute particles which take endless, innumerable forms. There is only a difference in the arrangement. Our bodies, he says, are one with the whole body of the universe. Our life is one with the whole life of the universe. Can I put that any clearer? Sure. In the beginning was creation, intelligence, spirit, call it what you will. And out of that one thing, everything was made. Everything made of the same thing. Now, we've got it all figured out down to atoms and quarks and things like that. But science says that they think that if they could get to the real center, the real core of the atom, what they would find is intelligence. Part of that original intelligence that created everything that is out of itself. Are you with me? I hope you're with me. So, if everything that is and was has been created out of that one first cause, first intelligence, then we really are one with the entire universe. We really are one with the whole body of the universe, because ultimately we are made of the same thing. And so we are one with the life of the universe. And we are, at this moment, in every moment, surrounded by unlimited possibility, which means unlimited good, unlimited love, unlimited wholeness, a power and a presence and an intelligence that so loves this world, gave it to all of its sons and daughters. Regardless of the experience of your life up until now, this is nonetheless the ultimate truth. So, here's a question for you. I guess it's kind of redundant. But do you want to start experiencing more of that unlimited life? Do you? Then here's what I suggest. Begin at the beginning. Ernest Holmes again. There is a law of unfoldment in man and women. Forgive him. He lived in an era when man, he, the masculine pronoun, meant everybody. And everybody wrote that way. Time has changed things, but not the truth of the statements. There is a law of unfoldment, he says, which says humanity can advance only by going from where it is to the place where it would like to be. As we unfold our mentality, our understanding, life automatically reacts to us. And the way to work it is to begin right where we are. And through constantly applying ourselves to the truth, we gradually increase in wisdom and understanding. For, he writes, in this way alone will good results be obtained. If day by day we have a greater understanding and a clearer concept, if daily we are realizing more of truth and applying it to our actions, then we are on the right path. And eventually, we shall be made free. My point is this. You are right now wholly holy. And you are, if you are really listening and hearing, discovering that once again. Wherever your life may be in this moment, a thought, can change it. The right thought can change it for the better forever. It's really pretty simple. The idea of a successful life will create success. The idea of love will create loving relationships. The idea of wholeness will create healing. The idea of plenty will create abundance. And, well, yeah, the idea of lack will create lack, and the idea of hate will create more hate, and the idea of misery will create more misery. You get the idea. The ideas that you hold in your mind create your life. An idea will find form in the life of the one who holds the idea to be true. But it must first become established in the conscious mind. Then it will transmit itself, transform itself into the stuff of life itself, into the stuff of your life. It all begins with an idea. That's the beginning. Now think on that for just a moment while I drink some water to try to get the tickle out of my throat. So, what do? Well, we start practicing thinking right. We should decide what we want to have in our lives, what we should have happen in our lives. We should put first things first, which really means putting truth and creation, intelligence, first cause, God, first, every day. Now, Emerson tells us that we are inlets and might become outlets of the divine. I think we think sometimes that all we are is inlets. Hopefully. Please, God, bring me, give me, change this, fix this. But what if you could become an outlet of the divine? I mean, what a fabulous thought. And that becoming becomes a place from which spirit moves forth into the world. That's a conscious choice. It's an act of choice. So choose creation first. First in mind, first in thought, first in action. Plotinus said that when the soul looks to God alone for its inspiration, its work is better done, even though it seems its back is turned to its work. Choose creation first. Put first things first, every day. We look for signs and wonders, don't we? Don't we? God, if you're really there, say something, do something, make something happen. And then people say, I'm looking for a sign for what I should do. And what I really believe is that signs and wonders are actually all around us, all the time. We just don't often see them. We are so easily distracted by the chaos and the noise that the world is heir to. It isn't a new story. It's not unique to our generation. In fact, it's a pretty old tale. In the Old Testament, Elijah was told, "Go out and stand on the mountain before the Lord." And behold, the story goes on, the Lord passed by. And a great and strong wind tore into the mountains and broke the rocks in pieces before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still, small voice. Can you imagine all that going on? The wind and the earth shaking, and the fire, and the still small voice. One has to focus, doesn't one, to hear the still small voice in the middle of all that chaos, much like being in the world today. See, the secret here, I think, is to stay with the one and never deviate from it. Listen to the still small voice. Your life, or the quality of your life, depends on it. Nietzsche once wrote that the kingdom of heaven is a condition of the heart. I don't disagree, but I might also add that it is also a condition of the mind. It takes both. William Blake wrote, men, and I just know he also meant women, are admitted to heaven not because they have curbed and governed their passions or have no passions, but because they have cultivated their understandings. The treasures of heaven are not negations of passion, but realities of intellect from which all the passions emanate, uncurbed in their eternal glory. Want to experience heaven? Don't give up on your dreams and your passions. Be passionate about your dreams, about your life, about creation's place within you. Forego the temptation to retell your long, sad story one more time, and choose creation first. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, the book says, and all else will be added. Stop. Can you feel something in you moving, shifting? Listen. Can you hear something in you speaking? Can you hear the still small voice? Meditate, pray. Instructions will be forthcoming. Then take action. Go where you are called. Do what you are guided to do. I'm guided to do something we haven't done in a while. But it always seems to open our hearts and minds. So once again, I would like to return to a meditation that we borrowed from Andrew Harvey. And I invite you to practice using your favorite name for God as we do this meditation. What is God to you? What do you like to call God? Some people love the word God. Other people say it reminds them of too many old ways of thinking, too many old rules. Some people like to say Jesus, others just like to say universe, but pick the one that works for you. You got it? Okay. Now close your eyes. Just soft focus if that's not comfortable for you. Just so your attention is going within and not staring at the screen or thinking about what I'm saying. Just relax. Take a deep breath. And silently repeat your name for God. And again. And again. Now, I'd like you to imagine that you are surrounded by a deep, dazzling golden mist. It fills the air. A deep, dazzling golden mist that now fills your awareness. And there is nothing else you need to be aware of for the next few minutes. You are surrounded by and immersed in this deep, wondrous golden mist. The mist is as powerful and bright and beautiful as the sun. Now again, thinking of your special name for God. Say it in your mind as you breathe in the splendid, fiery golden mist. And with each inhalation, allow that mist to fill your body, to reach into every part of you and to become you. Think of your name for God and breathe in the golden mist and feel fulfilled, energized, recreated. And when you exhale, breathe out fear. Breathe out confusion. Breathe out limitation. Everything and anything that stands in the way of your recognition of yourself as a perfect, divine being. Immersed now within the golden mist. Breathe in the mist. Allow yourself to be totally filled with it. And then breathe out with the same power that you used to breathe in. Again. Again. And again. Breathe in the golden mist. Breathe out any fear. And again. Breathe out powerfully until there is simply nothing unlike the golden mist remaining in you. There is an inner alchemy taking place. You are changing, turning dross to gold. Now, thinking your special name for God, continue to breathe in the dazzling golden mist and to breathe out any remaining doubt or fear. And know that in doing so, you are becoming transformed. These times, these sometimes painful and confusing times, invite alchemical transformation, turning the dross of our fear into the gold of our visions and dreams. In these times, we can connect with the infinite, unlimited power, and as we do that, we will discover that it has been within us all along. May we all be transformed by the magic within the mist, by the rediscovery of our own divinity, by the renewing of our minds, and the return to our own true spirit. T.S. Eliot wrote, "You shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all your exploring will be to arrive where you started and know the place for the first time." When you are ready, breathe in one more time and softly repeat your name for God. Know that you can return to this place and this awareness anytime, anywhere. Simply close your eyes and call forth the mist. The mist surrounds you. The mist has become you. And you are home. Among the things I am very grateful for is Andrew Harvey and the inspiration for that meditation. So, here we are. It's been a long day, but a very good one. I'm grateful that you have come here. I am always grateful for your presence. Bring friends, especially on Sunday. I don't have any prayer requests this evening, but I think nonetheless it's time to pray. So we will do that. Let me just by way of information, those of you that were here last Sunday, because I know you're dying to know, Kirk fixed the faucet. We knew he would. He didn't know he could. We knew he would. So that's off my prayer request list because that's handled. Let's just take a moment, shall we? And go within. And close your eyes if that's comfortable. If not, just soft focus. You know the drill. Do what's comfortable for you. Do what works for you. And I know this, there is one life in the universe. That life that existed before anything was. And is as much alive today as it was then. More so, perhaps, in that it lives and moves and has its being in and through each one of us and all of life. I know that that infinite wisdom, that pure love, that amazing knowing, that creative force moves through each of us, always. And to the extent that we are aware of it, to the extent that we allow its presence within us, to that extent and even greater, it expresses itself. We are, each of us, spirit expressing. And so I know this. That Brenda is experiencing the most amazing healing. And with that, the clarity on what steps to take next in her life. I know that Sabrina and her husband are also finding clarity and wholeness. I know that Jennifer is experiencing grace at a whole new level. And that peace is at the heart of her. I know that Kirk is experiencing amazing opportunities to express the God within him. And he has the courage always to listen to that still small voice and follow where it leads. I know that all of the pets, furry children, are experiencing health and wellness. And that those who were diagnosed with cancer cells are finding everything removed and healing. And I know that their sweet minds and bodies are encompassed as much with the presence of the Almighty as any one of us. And though they may not be able to express it, we know and can guide and can heal with our thoughts. I know that the unspoken requests for prayer are always answered. And so I know each of us tonight experiences healing and wholeness and abundance and joy and love and unlimited creativity as we allow Spirit to express in us, as us, and through us. And we celebrate that. And we are deeply grateful for that. And the more that is part of the awareness of the presence of God within each of us. And so we simply say thank you. Thank you. And let it be so. And so it is. And we have a closing song. Little Willie Nelson never hurt anybody. So I think I will simply leave you with that thought. Blue skies. The thing to know, spiritually speaking, is that the sky is always blue. Sometimes clouds occlude it. When we allow the clouds to become our truth, we don't experience the joy that the blue skies can bring. So thanks tonight for Willie, for our closing song, and for your presence. Thank you for being here. Let me know if there's anything I can do, anything I can be praying for. Bless you. And know that you go with God, because you can go no other way. See you on Sunday. Bye for now.